I want to see us win. All of us, I just want to see us win and just living our best lives. Hi my loves, welcome to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I want us to have some real talk today. I want us to talk about how you can set yourself up for success as a young woman in South Africa, because we know there are so many issues that we are dealing with. I see so many things like people wasting a lot of time thinking that things are just going to happen automatically, whereas that is not the case. So today I want us to talk about that what is it that you can do as a young black woman in South Africa to just set yourself up for a better chance at making it in this country. Set yourself up for success, really, and just be a step ahead than most people who might not really be paying attention to what is happening. Number one, I want us to talk about how you as a young woman in South Africa need to get to know yourself. I cannot stress this enough, that you need to get to know yourself. Get to know what is it that you like. Get to know what is it that you don't like. Get to know what kind of life you want to live, because I see so many young people that are just floating around, if I should put it that way, not really paying attention to what is it that they can do to give themselves that better chance at making it. Looking back at my experience, I wish someone could have just sat me down and told me that, you really need to really get to know what kind of life you want to live, because most of the time we just find ourselves in situations, we just find ourselves living a life that maybe someone told us that this is the life that we were supposed to live, or living the life that we see other people around us living, not realizing that no, actually you can decide what kind of a life is it that you want to live. Do you want to live a life where you are able to express yourself? Do you want to live a life where you are able to do the things that you actually love doing? Or you just want to fall into the trap of finding yourself in a career that you don't even like, finding yourself just doing things that you don't even know yourself why you are doing those things. And there are so many people that can influence you, so if you know yourself, you know that what other people's opinions don't really matter that much, because you already know what you're all about. You already know yourself. You already know the future that you see for yourself. So please spend a lot of time figuring out who you actually are and what you are all about. Make sure that you start at a very young age to question a lot of things. Question, what is it that you want with your life? Question, what is your purpose in this earth or in this world, so that whatever decisions that you make, they can be aligned with the things that you love, with your purpose, so that your life can really become fulfilling. Because a lot of people are living lives that are not fulfilling because they don't even know what is it that sets their souls on fire, that makes them the people that they are. They don't even know that. If there's something that you want, that you love, that you think is aligned with your purpose, please pursue it as soon as possible, so that as an adult you can be able to live that fulfilling life where you are doing the things that you love doing, and maybe you are actually even able to make money doing the things that you love doing. All right, so the next thing that I want us to talk about is take advantage of your freedom. Take advantage of all the time that you have as a young person, more especially if you are just starting out. Maybe you just finished school, you are in university, or you just finished university. You might not realize this, but you have a lot of time. When you're an adult, you get to look back and realize how much time you wasted, or how much time you had that you could have done so many other things that now as an adult, because you are having so many responsibilities, you maybe don't have enough time to do those things. I'm not saying that when you are at school or in university you don't have responsibilities. You still do have responsibilities. However, believe me when I tell you that you have a lot of time that you can use. So as a young adult, because we know the challenges that we are going through in this country, unemployment rate is at an all-time high, and it doesn't look like it's going to get better anytime soon. So getting an education, a university education, when you are able to, is still a very important part of giving yourself a better chance at success. However, being employed by someone else cannot be your only hope if you are a young woman in this country, or if you are a person in this country in general. So if you are going to school with the hope that I'm just going to look for employment, that's my only plan, you are going to have a lot of problems. You are going to be in a situation where a lot of young people find themselves in this country, because like I'm saying, unemployment rate is at an all-time high. So spend your time wisely as a young person. Learn skills, Nowadays, there are so many opportunities. I'm not saying that it's easy. No one ever said that it's going to be easy. However, there are so many opportunities nowadays with, people starting online businesses where you don't really even need a large amount of money to start up the business. So there's so many things that you can do for yourself. Let's say maybe you have finished school at the moment, maybe you have not found employment. Don't just sit around. Please don't just sit around. Try a lot of things. There are so many things that you can start and grow that don't really need a lot of capital, like I've said, because I know that it's a challenge as well to get funding to start, something from scratch where you don't have any experience, where people can trust you enough to lend you money to start whatever it is that you want to start. So there's so many things nowadays that you can learn online for free. There are places where you get to have free Wi-Fi where you can connect to the internet and learn certain things. There's podcasts today, there are YouTube channels that teach you valuable information that you can actually take and use and make something out of it. So spend your time wisely. Don't always be that person who spends their time on social media just scrolling mindlessly. So social media can waste your time, social media can teach you things, social media can inspire you, to make something out of your life. So it also depends on what is it that you want out of it. So don't just sit around and hope that someone is going to give you a call to say you are now employed. You can still continue to pursue that route if that is what you want, but while you are waiting, there are websites where you can do some work as a freelancer. So if you've learned a certain skill, you can be able to assist certain people with that skill and get paid for it. There are websites where you can be working from home, maybe translating or typing documents, can do things where you are a virtual assistant. So you must just find those websites. So you must just let me know if you want me to make another video just dealing with that part, to say which websites you can look at to see what is it that you can do to help yourself. If you want that video, let me know. I'm going to then do a separate video dedicated to just that. But for now, that's what I wanted to just make you aware of, that there are certain things that you can do. Learn different skills so that you can be able to monetize those skills that you have learned. Like I'm saying, you don't need to go to school for everything nowadays. There's so much information out there where you can learn for free, actually, where you don't even have to pay for that information. All right, the next few points that I'm going to talk about are around dating, because I've come to realize that as people in general, we spend way too much time focusing on dating relationships. If you want to make something out of your life, there's a lot of time that is needed for you to build whatever it is that you want to build. So the point that I want to touch on is be intentional when it comes to your dating relationships. If you are at a point where you are not looking for a serious relationship, then don't find yourself in a serious relationship. I'm saying this because a lot of times you find that as young women, we get so caught up in these relationships that we spend so much of our time, so much of our effort trying to make this relationship work. Whereas you could be doing so many other things with that time that you are spending so much on this relationship. Things that are actually going to be of benefit to you, things that are actually going to move you forward. You must also know, why am I entering into this relationship? A lot of the times we just find ourselves, especially as young people, we just find ourselves in relationships, whereas you don't even know, why am I in this relationship? You find that you're not even getting anything out of that relationship. You spend most of the time stressed in this relationship. You spend so much of your time and effort, whereas you find that the person that you are spending that time on is not even worth it, because they are not even helping you in your life. They're not even helping you to become, a better person. They are not even helping themselves. You find that they themselves, they don't even have any prospects, to making it in life. So you need to really ask yourself, when you are in a relationship, or when you want to enter into a relationship, that why am I looking for a relationship? What is it that I want to get out of this relationship at this point in my life? And then not find yourself giving so much more of yourself into a relationship that is not giving you anything back in return. I see so many young people, as well as people that are not that young anymore, spending way too much time on relationships that are not even beneficial in any way, shape, or form to themselves, to their lives. to anything really. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against people that are in relationships, people that want to be in relationships, people that are married, people that want to be married. I myself want some of those things. I've come to realize that there's so much time that I spent on relationships that really didn't do anything for me. Looking back now, I'm like, what did I even gain? And I'm not even talking about monetary gain when it comes to relationships, but like, what did I even gain in that relationship? I didn't gain anything. I was not encouraged, I was not supported, I was not inspired, I was not anything, you know. There's just literally nothing that I gained. So that's what I wanted to really pay attention to, is that what are you gaining in that relationship? Because as women, we give so much of ourselves in relationships naturally. So it's not even a thing of I just want to take. No, we are so much giving when it comes to relationships naturally. So it makes sense that we should also be able to get something in return. So please just pay attention to that and don't find yourself overplaying your role in a relationship with someone that maybe is not even looking for anything serious. Spend time on yourself, especially as a young woman. You don't need to spend time chasing after people, trying to make people realize your value. Don't do that. That is just a waste of your time. Trust me, I'm a big sis. That is something that I've learned with experience. Alright, the next point again is still around relationships. When you find yourself now in a relationship, make sure that you don't lose yourself in that relationship. Make sure that you still know who you are, what you want out of your life, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, what you like, what you don't like. Make sure that you don't compromise on your boundaries, especially as a young person. Looking back, there's so many times where I found myself just breaking some of the promises that I made to myself when it comes to boundaries and relationships. And that has never really worked out in my favor. As a woman, you should have your boundaries, you should have your values, you should know what you like, what you don't like, what are your deal breakers, and stand by that. Really don't compromise on that, because you'll find yourself in a compromising situation, you'll find yourself heartbroken, you'll find yourself alone, having to deal with things by yourself that you didn't really sign up for. I talk a lot about relationships because relationships are a big source of stress in our lives, because so many people are in bad relationships, so many people are in toxic relationships, and when you are in that kind of a relationship, there's no way that you can be able to, you know, be your best self. Your mental health is affected, you know, you find yourself not even having energy to do the things that you want to do. So that's why I talk a lot about relationships, because they affect so many areas of our lives. You know, when you are in a good relationship, that relationship can actually propel you to, you know, become even better. But when you are in a bad relationship, that relationship can destroy so many things in your life. I see a lot of young women, even women that are not even that young, in relationships that they themselves, they know they shouldn't be in. They themselves know that this relationship is holding me back. If it was not for this relationship, I would be far in life. So that is a real thing. It really does happen. It's so much better to be by yourself, really, as opposed to be in a relationship that you don't feel like you are your best self. It can really deter you from reaching your potential. So please, be careful when you are in these relationships. The last point that I want to make is a big one. It's a huge one. Do not have a child with a man that is not committed to you, with a man that you've never even had a discussion about children, with a man that you've never even had a discussion about, you know, a future that you might want to have together. Make sure that when you decide to have a child, you are having a child with someone that can help you raise the child. And I'm not just talking about just giving you money to buy things for the child. I'm talking about someone that can actually help you to raise the child. So please first establish a really good foundation with someone before you decide to have a child. Before you even put yourself in a situation where there's a chance that you can fall pregnant. Please don't do that. And I know when you're a young adult, you always think certain things will never happen to you. Trust me, they will, and they do happen. Take all the necessary precautions. I'm just saying this because it can affect you so much. You know, raising a child is not easy. It's even worse when you are doing it by yourself. You know, make sure that you don't put yourself in a difficult situation. You know, life is difficult as it is. Trying to make it, you know, as a woman, as a young woman, is difficult as it is. Don't create a situation where you put yourself in an even bigger disadvantage, because now you have so many responsibilities that you need to focus on. You are not even able to focus on your life. You're not even able to focus on trying to build your life, trying to build the future that you want. Having children when you are not ready to have children, having children with the wrong person, they can just destroy your life. Please don't put yourself in such a difficult situation. It's in your control. I'm not saying that once you have children or when you have an unplanned child, your future is automatically ruined. I'm not saying that. There are people who are still able to make something of themselves even after making those mistakes that they make as young people. But in most cases, you find that those people maybe have support, maybe their families are there, they're able to support them, maybe they are able to go back to school to finish their education, they're able to go out and, you know, find work, and so that they can be able to support this child. You find that, you know, those people, at least they have people around them that can support them. Unfortunately, that is not the case for everyone. Only have children when you are ready, financially, mentally, emotionally, and you have someone that can help you to raise those children. That is all that I wanted to talk about for today. So thank you so much for watching all the way through to the end, and if you did, you might as well just subscribe to this channel, because we are all about just women empowerment. We are all about just leveling up in life as women, because we are so powerful, we are so much capable. It honestly breaks my heart when I see women in such bad situations. I want to see us win, all of us. I just want to see us win and just living our best lives. So that is what we're all about on this channel. So if you have not subscribed, please do click the subscribe button and become part of the family. All right, my loves, I will see you on the next video. Bye.